Hello, Facebook family.
Hello.
Just want to welcome you guys to another Let's Talk Relationship. Tonight you have Charlene Hargrove, my co-host, and myself, Sandra Hardy. And in the back, our producer, Lorinda. Say hi.
Hello.
And it looks like it's going to be ladies' night
Yes,
tonight.
ladies' night.
That's right.
That's right. So we're going to go ahead and get things started. Hopefully, along the way, our other co-host, Terrence Perry, will come along because he has some exciting stuff he wanted to talk about tonight. But, of course, the show must go on. So we're going to start with Charlene because she has something very interesting to talk to us about. And then going to come in will be Lorinda. Oh,
Okay.
all right. So Charlene,
Yeah,
the floor is yours.
I have I have friendships, and I was thinking about I have a lot of female friendships, and then I had a good male friend, and I want to know, when we talk about relationships, we always speak about between a man and a woman or someone that's romantic relationships.
Right.
And we have issues with trying to maintain those relationships.
Mhm.
But yet, like with me, I've had friendships that have lasted over 30 years.
That's awesome.
So, and I love my friends.
Right.
So I want to find out, is this something that's expected out of relationship law that creates an issue why we can't maintain relationships, but we can maintain friendships because you love your friends, and love is universal. You can love your parents, you can love your friends. So how is that we're able to maintain? You can have even friendships with people of the opposite sex.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a friendship with someone and you've been friends with them since high school.
Mm-hmm.
How are we not able to maintain a good relationship with someone that we're romantic with?
That's a good question. And I think it has to do with the sexual portion of it. I think when you introduce that other portion, that physical part, I think the love changes, because there is a difference between friendship love, because friendship love to me is more like a family love. That person, you see them as a family member. So you don't feel like you can walk away or discard a family member, at least not unless it's something really, heartbreaking that just hits. But when you involve a physical relationship, a sexual relationship, then you're pulling on more emotions, you're pulling on vulnerabilities that's not really seen with a friendship. You're exposing, it's like connecting in a different way to someone. You become one with that person. Then if that person does something to hurt you, it's almost heart-wrenching, I guess, in a way.
Because when you mentioned that, one of the things that I've noticed is that I think that our expectations of the love that we have for somebody we're romantically involved with is so different. Because we always are quick to say, well, if you love me, you would do this, or if you love me, you won't do this. However, you have that friendship that you just take unconditionally, and you say, that's just my friend. That's just how she is.
Right.
If your friend can be just how they are, then why do we not accept the person that we're in a relationship with to be just as they are? And one of the key things that happens is people always say, let's be friends first. Before you, and I don't.
Yeah, but then if you look at it though, if you did start out as friends and you go to that particular area, it's probably not as hard to go back to a friendship if you were already, say you've been with somebody for 5 or 10 years, and then all of a sudden as friends, and then all of a sudden you kind of step over and you feel like that doesn't work. I think you know each other enough to say, you know what, I don't think this is right. This is not going to work. And then you can be able to go back. You may look at each other a little bit different, but I think that you probably can do that better than a lot of times we just meet somebody right off the street and we're looking at them in a different manner. We're not looking at them as a friend. We're not looking for a friendship from them first. We learn as we go, which a lot of times is not necessarily the best way, to do something. Whereas if you give somebody something that's you're not really expecting anything from them. You know, it's just open and you just accepting, and that's what a friend. You're not really expecting much. You know, you say, okay, you're my friend, I trust you, and then they do something, you think, oh well, like you said, oh that was my friend, they did so and so. But when you come into a relationship with this person and you're giving your body and your soul and your heart and all that, your expectations are a whole lot higher for them.
I
and then when they don't meet that goal, then you're devastated.
Yeah, and see, when you mentioned, I have a different perspective, because one thing I just don't believe in that. Let's be friends first and see how it goes. Mm-hmm. Because when I look at someone as being a friend, mm-hmm. I look at the compatibility. One of my male friends can treat women just, he can be a dog, basically. Right. But he's a good friend to me because he meets the needs that I need for the friendship. Right. He's somebody I can talk to, he gives good advice, mm-hmm. I can go to for a lot of things. But he could never be my man. Because he doesn't exhibit the qualities that I look for in a man. I've been on online dating sites, and a lot of guys I have, just date nothing else. And so when they approached me, I said, well, we're not looking for the same thing. He said, well, I am looking for a relationship, but I just want to be friends first. We need to be friends first. And then, I just said, well, what is your ultimate goal? Right. If the ultimate goal is relationship, then put relationship. Right. But I'm not seeking, I said, so in the friendship, you want to be romantic, right? So you see what I'm saying? That's why I said
the friends with benefits.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Not really a friend. That's a trial relationship.
Exactly, and that's that's why I said, well, if we are so much into being friends first, why don't we ever date our friends? Why are we never engaging in, like, if you have a good male friend, and you meet a guy, you're gonna try to be his friend first. But you're already friends with someone else. Why don't those friendships ever turn to relationships?
Yeah, because I think they meet different needs. Mm-hmm. Because a friend, if I see somebody that's just going to be a friend, then you're looking at the needs and the things you want from them are different. Yeah. You can talk to them about anything, you can blah, 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 but again, once you introduce the physical, the portion of it, you change the dynamics mm-hmm. of that friendship. And then the expectations become higher. And a lot of times it doesn't make the cut when it gets to that part of a relationship, because that's why a lot of people say, well, we were friends for so many years, but then we did this, and then
because the love you want, you expect more, mm-hmm. and I think that, like, for me, when I'm dealing with someone, I think that, like, a lot of failed relationships come because we expect love to basically become like a magical fix. Right. If that person was abusive to you, mm-hmm. marrying him or being in love with him or waiting for him to fall in love with you is not going to fix him. Right. He's just going to be an abusive man that loves you. Right. He's going to still be that. And I think that we just blind ourselves to believe that love is going to fix for men relationships, when I think the love, what it does is it enhances what's already there. Yeah. The core of the relationship is what people call their friendship, because you're compatible. You have met someone that you have similar interests with. Mm-hmm. You've met someone that you can trust. Mm-hmm. You met someone that wants to be like she always says, co-founder. Mm-hmm. So you met someone that does that. Right. So now, like we spoke with when Terrence was here about when you fall in love with them. Mm-hmm. Oh, that is now the cherry on top of the sundae. Mm-hmm. Because now you have all these layers mm-hmm. in that relationship, and boom, it hits. I love this person. Because you can have all that with someone and never ever fall in love.
Right. And then that's when they're the perfect friend.
Yeah.
You say what's on your mind and they accept it, and they say what's on their mind and accept it, like you were saying about the friend that he's a dog. You see how he treats, and you probably tell him, you shouldn't treat him like that, blah, 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 but you can tell him that, and he hears that from you, and he respects it. Whereas if he was to hear it from, say, a woman he was trying to date, he would be an offensive, mm-hmm. but he knows that you know him. Yes. And that's the one reason why you could not cross over, because you know him. Mm-hmm. And, but, just to look at it, though, because you do know him, and he knows you, if you were to, he might not even be that way. So it could be different with you because of the friendship. So it's I always think too that if the more you know about a person before you can get into a solid relationship, the better off you'll be, because then you take the time to understand that person. Yeah. But when you just want to say, hi, my name is X, Y, and Z, let's go to bed together. Now you just, before you even got to, right, before you got to know that person, to even see if you really, really like them, you've already added in that other wrinkle of things by getting in bed with that person. And then now you're caught and you're torn. Okay, well, I really didn't like this person. I don't like the way he does this, or I don't like the way she does that, or that. But they were doing that beforehand.
Yeah.
But you were so busy to try to see what was underneath their clothing, till you didn't even get to see the person that they were presenting to you.
And that is so hard as a woman for dating, because when we try not to have more sheets, I told a guy, I said, we are doomed if we don't, and doomed if we do. So with a woman, because you're trying to find that boundary, you're sitting here and a lot of women think, well, if I have sex with him the first night, he's going to think this about me. And if I don't have sex with him the first night, he might not give me a second date. So you deal with that. Yeah. And that's how I feel. I'm like, I'm asking that guy, say, well, what you saving it for, the Lord?
Not you, evidently.
And I hear that. And I will tell them, I said, if you meet me, we're just dating. That doesn't mean that you have to be exclusive to me. We're just dating. So if you really want to have sex, then date another woman and have sex with her. That's what you want to do. But while you're with me, you're going to treat me a certain way because I want to get to know you. I want to be that person that you find out, I don't want to deal with these other women. I just want to focus on her. And when you get to that point, you focusing on me, and we gravitate to a relationship, then that may happen between us. But a lot of guys will be like, I want to know how it is beforehand, before I commit.
No, this is not. Yeah, no.
Because that's the one thing I think you can fix in a relationship: sex. I think you can fix that
because it can also mess things up.
No, I'm saying you can fix it as far as if you waited, like living single, she had a 3-month rule. She wasn't intimate with somebody for 3 months. So a lot of people say, well, how do I know the sex is going to be good?
But the more you care about the person, the more you'll take the time, and it's no longer becomes sex. To me, sex is, you can have that with anybody. Yeah. So you don't really need me to have sex. You can have sex with
yourself.
Hello, that's nothing but the pleasure of the pleasing of your body to get to that point, and then you're done.
Yeah, think about all your relationships though. They have failed.
The emotions are more in it, and I don't think it's really the physical portion of it.
Exactly.
That makes it fail. It's the outside.
Exactly. When I talk to people that feel that way, I'm like, well, why did your last relationship break up? None of them were about sex. 99% of the ones I've talked to have never been about sex. And I just always feel that because to me, the key point of sex would be communication. Because a guy could be with 100 different women and all of them just scream, great lover. Then he's with me. And I'm like, because Charlene doesn't function like the other 100 did. So what I would have to do is have a conversation with him and say, this is what I need. This is what I like. This is what I enjoy. Take a trip down to Adam and Eve. Go online. Whatever. There's certain things that, there are things out there to help you fix your sex life. But nothing's going to help you when one person has this belief and another person has that belief. That's hard to.
Yeah, well, I think that's more all in kind of getting to know each other. But I think we kind of went a little bit off.
I know.
Shirley said that she was just kind of agreeing and saying that she married a friend and she wish she hadn't, because they would have been better staying friends. And that happened to me with my first husband. But we're still the best of friends.
Sometimes
we're going shopping tomorrow. Yeah, he gets paid. So.
If it's tight enough, the friendship is tight enough, that step over will just be okay. The two of you looking, going, we were better off, as friends. And sometimes that's how I think I was watching a show, and this man and this woman, they were really good together dating, and then they got married. How many couples you see 5 years of dating, they get married, and then within 2 years they're divorced and they're separated. Why? It's because they had unrealistic expectations on themselves once they got married, instead of just seeing everything the way it was when they were dating. Why change? Why change dating when you say I do? Continue to. That's the fun part to dating. That's doing the first time.
Do you think they even talk about that, or do we have a natural assumption? Because I can tell you that I've seen this happen a lot of times. Like even when I was married, this is what usually will happen with women. If a woman is getting ready to leave to go somewhere, she tells the husband, you know, can you watch the kids? I'm getting ready to go step out. The man leaves the house. I'll be back. Because the natural order,
they don't want to tell what's going on.
But no, I'm saying the natural order is the woman is supposed to care for the children. So you're basically having to ask your husband, I'm getting ready to go somewhere. I've seen a lot of women do that. They don't just leave. They don't leave. They just say, I'm getting ready to go somewhere. Can you watch the kids? But a man will sit there and say, I'm gone and I'll be back. But the woman, because the natural order thing is that the woman is supposed to care for the children. And a lot of people get married and they don't even talk about how you're going to discipline your children, how you're going to do your savings account, where are we going to progress or how we're going to grow. We have preconceived notions of what marriage is supposed to be, what relationships are supposed to be like. And then when you get into them, you're like, oh, I thought you would take out the trash. Oh, I thought you would take care of this.
That's that communication beforehand. But communication is just important through all of it. But I think that when you're talking about the difference between what happens in the conversation when the man leaves and the woman leaves, I think it's just more of an expectation that the man feels like you shouldn't ask me where I'm going. But at the same token, you need to tell me where you're going. And I think it just comes back and it stems all the way from back in the day when the man was the head and he did what he wanted, and the woman was just stayed at home and did, she was there for him to put his hand on when he wanted to, but she didn't dare ask him, well, where you're going or what you're doing, because the whole concept was as long as I'm coming home to you, why worry about it? But that concept is over. Now we gonna worry. If I'm explaining or I'm saying to you where I'm going, then you need to be just as courteous to say where you're going to be, okay, if I need to reach you, I can reach you how. But I think that when they leave that open door like that, it's so that they can do whatever they want to do and then come home and then no questions be asked.
And I call those single husbands.
Exactly. They want to be single and then still married at the same time. The cake and eat it too.
Right. And see, one of my favorite shows, I love, Divorce Court. Because I love Judge Tola because she gives us good advice. She really in her books and everything. And so it was a lady here, and she was married, and the guy was trying to determine whether or not he was the father of this baby that he had on the side.
Right.
So she was only 10 months in to the marriage, and kind of found out the baby was not his. So he was happy and sad about that, but because he felt betrayed because the woman that he cheated with was seeing somebody else. Now he felt betrayed.
The woman that he was cheating on.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So then the judge told her, well, don't you see how she feels? Can you empathize? He said, a little bit. He didn't have that empathy. And what she told her, that the best thing, she said, right now you're 10 months in. The worst thing for you is to be 11 months in.
Right, exactly.
She said, run.
Right, because he didn't see anything wrong with the actions. Because he feels he's a man. He can do
and that's
that.
what he said.
Right.
And that's exactly what he said. I pay the bills. I don't think she's going to leave because I'm her financial backbone.
Right.
And that, to me, was so discouraging because as a woman, that this man really feels that and he can get this woman and be with him and do whatever he want to do because he's taking care of her financially.
Well, that's why I say, have something of your own to lean on. And that's what when I go into dating, a lot of people say, well, I want him to pay my bill. No, I don't want you to pay not one bill in my house, because when I tell you to hit the door, don't tell me what you did for me, blah, blah, blah. You didn't do anything for me.
That was the best advice I got when I went to UNC for years ago they was doing the recruitments. And he said, for all the women in the room, get your degree. He said, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but if you're married and that man ever walks out, you have that paper. You can always get you a job.
Do something.
You can do something with it. And I encourage women to do that because you don't want to ever be in a position where you feel like you can't get out because how are you going to take care of yourself?
Right. Or if you have children, or how are we going to make it? You know, and I think it's very important while we're on that topic to know what's going on in your household. Know your bills. Know what's going in and what's going out. Know how the bills are functioning. You know, a lot of women, you know, get to the point where he handles that or he handles that, you know, and if he decides to walk, or, you know, God forbid, if he passes
away. Yeah.
How are you going to be able to handle yourself? So I think it's important to tell our young women nowadays that you know, don't be out there looking for a man to take care of you. You know, that's something, maybe mom, you know, was a stay-at-home mom, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a stay-at-home because the times and the different changes. But always be prepared for the what if.
Exactly.
You know, what if this doesn't work out? What if? Because like you said, some men you meet feel that just because I'm doing all this, you really don't have a say-so in it. You know, and you may meet that perfect man that, you know, will do all this and take care of the house and all that, and he wants you to be home. But a lot of times when it falls and everything is on them, then they feel like you really don't have a say on it. And, you know, I'm doing this. I need to get away. You become too much pressure on them. They look at you as pressure. They look at you as you're the reason why I got to do all of this over here. So, you know, then something on the outside does begin to appeal to them because to them, you're the pressure and the stress that they're dealing with, you know.
Do you think that would be the reason why so many men don't like independent women? Because they lose that control?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, because I had a guy. He used to. I mean, I was dating him, and his first wife left him, and he was like, and you know, she made more money than me. So he knew what I did, and he used to call me six figures all the time. Six figures. And I'm like, why did he obsess about that? Why did he always say that?
Oh my God.
So I think
out
that
of my pocket.
Yeah, I never said. He just assumed. That's what I made. That's what he assumed. Or he used to call me that, and I'm like, to me, he had a problem that I made more money than him. And so I just wondered, like, you know, a lot of men keep, you know, I see on Facebook a lot, you know, well, you know, why do women want a man? You know, y'all so independent and this, that, and other. And I think that they feel a little bit insecure if a woman makes more money than them. Well, they know that that woman doesn't per se necessarily need them. So they will go after these women that we call them food diggers.
She has a cute name. She has a cute
They're
name
food
for
diggers.
all of these.
Women that just go out and get a meal. They get still gold digger. They're not going to get money. It's like, shoot, I'm hungry. Let me call, you know, Bob, and he'll take me out to eat.
Food digger.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to be one.
There are definitely the guys who don't can't handle not being in control. I have a control freak. Just like that. I love him. I would marry him. Maybe. But he really has a problem with me having opinions.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have a problem with him. That.
Right. Or
like,
they tell you think too much.
Yeah.
You know, I have men tell me I think too much. Well, what is the purpose of my brain if not to think?
Right.
I mean, you're not supposed to tell me anything and I just believe it. This is not coming to America. I'm not standing there like this going, whatever you like. Whatever you like. Whatever you like. It doesn't go that way. I mean, you know.
And why can't we do it together?
Right.
You know, this is, you know, I'm his co-founder. Why can't we do it together? You got your stuff. I have my stuff. Right. When we get together, we just have more stuff. It doesn't come down to you got to leave everything you're doing to come over here and do what I'm doing. He's a funeral director.
Right.
So I was like,
you have your business and I have my business.
I'll just be doing funeral technology, I guess. Don't y'all do that over there?
Don't you have websites?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just figure that out. But he has a problem with me having a voice.
Right.
But when you are a chauvinist and you're not comfortable in your own skin, you can't let other people shine because you have
and
to
I
have
think
this
that's a lot of that
Yeah.
too has to do with insecurities.
Yes.
So a man, if he feels a woman is making more money, or she, if she questions or says, "And why are you questioning me?" Because you're not Webster, and you may make mistakes like everybody else. So if you tell me that it's raining outside, then if there's a window, I may look to see if it's raining outside. But that doesn't mean that I should be able to do that and still be
your
fine.
authority.
Right.
Yeah, saying that you're retarded or whatever.
Right.
I'm like,
I'm
really?
just like,
It's just
really?
like you look at me.
Yeah, I just came in and it wasn't really. Did it? I mean, but again, it stems back to the day when women just sat around the house and whatever the man said do, they did because he controlled the purse strings. I need, they want to have that hand out. I need $5, or you give me an allowance. I haven't had an allowance since I went to work in 11th grade because I asked my dad for some money and he said, "Why do you need that?" Although I knew he was going to give it to me, but the whole thing of explaining why I needed that, and I said, "A pair of shoes," and he said, "Well, don't you have shoes?" I said, "I'm going to get me a job." And I've been working ever since.
Yeah.
Because it's the whole thing is of, I should not have to ask if I need something, Now, if I get married and we're in a relationship, then we'll discuss big purchases.
Exactly.
I'm not going to go out and buy a furniture set without talking to you, or come back and drive in a new car and say, "Honey, look what I got." And expectations on your end that you're not going to do that. And, as far as the man. But I don't need to ask permission for personal things. Can I go buy such and such, or can I go get such and such? To me, you want to take me back to a child role. I'm not going to be a child role. I'm not going to just accept anything that everybody says, and that's about it. But,
and I guess it depends on too how you start the relationship. If that works for you, then and if you are honest and say, "Yeah, I can deal with a man just telling me what to do and giving me allowance," and just kind of follow him. If that's cool with you, then it's cool with you. Yeah. But I, for one, that's why me and my first husband divorced, because he was so happy just being content with going to work, nothing.
Right.
And I wanted so much more.
Right.
I was coming out of a very sheltered life, and I was ready to see the world, and he wasn't ready for me to do that.
Right.
And I felt like he was being very mean, and so I was like, "You need somebody to love you the way you need to be loved, and I'm going to set you free, little girl."
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Love you the way you need to be loved.
His expectation, what he really wanted. He said he loved me, and I did, but I kept hurting him because I was trying to explore
those same things that he was right.
Yeah, he could have explored with me, but that wasn't what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
right.
But we were so young, and we had no idea what we wanted, and that's one of the reasons why I love following or talking about relationships is because you do develop a language that you can say to somebody, "This is what I want, this is what I like, this is what I need." Okay, your turn. Now, do we have any matches there?
Right. Okay, so you like totally this different and all. Okay, so there's no middle point for us.
It's not gonna work.
Exactly. That's the communication. Is anybody saying anything on
Yes, there's a lot of stuff. We know that's not the case now because women are making just as much money as men. However, it's about respecting each other and making your expectations known. And the women shouldn't be looking for the man, but he should find her.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
he that finds a good thing.
That's right.
Very good.
Yeah,
that's real good.
He that finds a good
wife finds a good thing.
A wife finds a good thing and favoring to the Lord. I actually have an author that's writing a book about relationships, and the whole premise of it is that a man's favor from that one verse that we just probably chopped all up.
Right. Exactly. We pulled the main pieces out of it.
We made it work.
We made it work. That's right.
But the whole premise is that even though in God's hierarchy, the man is the head of the house, the woman is actually his favor.
Right.
So if you want to be treated well and you want your endeavors to go well, then you as a man have the responsibility to treat her as favor. Okay, you're being led,
right? And
she is, by order, she is being led. But you can't succeed if you treat her
bad. That's right.
So there's a beautiful order to things, and basically he is saying that you have to go into a relationship knowing that you have a responsibility to make this woman happy, because her happiness depends on her being happy.
Right, because God has put you
in nobody's happy. That holds true. That holds true.
God put him in control of that and gave him that authority, gave him that over that. So what are you doing with it?
And I need to trust you.
You hit it right there. What is he doing with it? Because a lot of people think that just because he's the head of the household, that makes him your boss. No. In business, you own your business. You are the boss. Right. You own that business. What you have to do is may have to say, well, I'm not good at doing websites. Right. So then you have to contract out. Because exactly. So if you say, well, it's my business, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the website, and you tear it all up, then you have just basically destroyed that business because you didn't have the forethought to sit there and give it to someone who can do better. And like I said, if I was married, with a husband, and he's the head of the household, and we're talking about finances. And he said, well, I want you to handle the bills because you're better at doing that than me. Be that way. And a lot of men don't like to do that because they feel like they're like, the woman's all in my business. But look at finance. Oh my goodness. They don't want to release that.
That's what she was saying. He wants to be single and not married. Yeah. He don't want her to know. He wants to leave this empty portion of what she don't know. Right. Yeah. You're not ready. Yeah. You're not ready to be married. That's right.
There was a post this week. I think, did you share that post with Farrakhan?
Yes. I did.
Oh my God. Awesome. It made me so sad. It just made me sad.
It basically, did you see it? It was basically saying that, with women, when he stated in there, that's why men would call their women MF. Because when they're not bringing any income into the household, you're now being, she's mothering you. She's taking care of you. And that's why women can't respect men that don't come in and take care of the home. And that's why men call them that, because basically that's what she is. You're the mother that she's, engaged intimately with, because she's taking care of you. And it was the way he worded it was so profound. I mean, I had to share that because it just meant so much. And when I conveyed to guys, which was another question, how does a man date when he's financially strapped? A lot of men don't know how to do that, and I'm like, why are you trying to date when you're not able to focus on your focus? I'm not going to say that a gentleman could see me and and everything just falls in order, but I'm just seeing more and more men getting onto dating websites who are not in a place where they should be looking to date.
That's what I said. If you're not ready to date, then don't. Work on yourself, get yourself together, and then you have something to offer to someone else as far as dating. But if you're still struggling, if you're still going through, as to say, then you shouldn't try to look for somebody else, because then you have too much going to be coming through, too much strife, too much this, because you're not happy. If you're still struggling and you're not happy,
you're bringing somebody into your mess.
And so exactly. So you're going to push off that unhappiness to them. And then if you meet somebody that is together, then you're going to resent them, especially if you don't think that they're coming to you with open arms with everything that they have, every time. Because at a certain point, that person's going to be like, okay, I'm giving and giving and giving. And every time I look at you, you're saying you don't have. Then I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need you.
I'm taking the bigger risk.
I had a conversation just this week with this person that said, that keeps telling me we're going to get married. And I keep saying that, well, I don't feel the way I want to feel with us just dating.
Right.
And he said, I said, well, when are we going to get married? Just, okay, what's the date? We're just going to do it. He said, well, we can do it as soon as you accept me. You don't accept me. I said, well, I didn't say I didn't accept you. What I said was, I don't feel the way I want to feel.
Right.
You might be doing the very best you can. Keep doing that. That might work for someone.
Right. You're not hitting the goal.
You're not making me feel the way I want to feel.
Right.
And I have to do that.
Right. You can't just marry somebody
just not
on
compromise just because
right.
you look good. He really does look good. but
there's more to the package than that. Yeah.
They don't hear what we say. A lot of times, we can say the words. To me, it sounds like you're a great communicator. But a lot of times, people don't hear what you're saying, and they interpret it. I can say something, and they hear something totally different than what I said.
Exactly. So my response was, sweetie, you love me the way you love people. You're just not loving me the way I want to be loved.
Again, it goes to the love languages.
Exactly.
It boils down to the love language.
I don't want any more teddy bears. Thank you for, I hate to be like that, but thank you for all the stuff that he does that doesn't mean a whole lot to me.
Right. He's not hitting your language.
My language is acts of service.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's giving me gifts.
Right. Yeah. And you're like, okay.
I have a business. I need you to come and help me set up this studio. That's what I do.
Exactly.
Do we have any other comments or anything?
Miss Perry says that's a partnership. You must have a partnership in a relationship and marriage where one is strong, the other is weak, but a partnership balances this out.
Yes. Yeah,
that's true. You have to be willing to express yourself and say what's on your mind and what you need. And there is a intentional oppression of our men.
Right.
It's just that, just plain and simple. It is. So you know that already. We already know that that's happening, and we know we have to work so much harder than other people. But if you're coming and you're being honest, and I can see that you are really doing
your best,
the very best, and you're just really having a hard time.
Right.
There is, we were made, women, to nurture and love and support.
Right.
We're built that way.
Right.
So if you actually are doing everything that you can do, and you know when you're doing,
you're hitting the right love languages.
But you just said it though. What you said, like a lot of people feel like when we talk as women, that we're saying that you got to have, $80,000 this Ferrari. That's not what we're saying.
No,
we're saying that if you're in a situation,
all in.
But if I meet someone and this person may have gone through a divorce, and within that divorce or whatever situation was, or they could have been laid off their job for 6 months. It happens to a lot of us. Yeah. So now you're back in the rebuilding phase. So you're coming in, maybe you lost your car or whatever, but you're proactively doing something. You have a job. You may have to stay with a friend. You put money in savings. You're proactively doing something. But a lot of people want to sit back and wait. So, I'm thinking about doing this. I'm thinking about doing that. Like, when you could think about being in a relationship, because it's not going to be short. Because I'm not going to, be there for you when you're not trying to actually do something for yourself.
You're not showing up for you.
You're just showing up.
Why you want me to show up?
Because if you can go hungry,
they want you to be a crutch.
Yes.
I want to go out to eat. Okay. Well,
you got some.
Yeah.
If you would not do what is needed to feed yourself, then you're not going to feed me. So, and that's what I say. So how can you go and know that you don't have any money coming in, any income coming in, and you're going to try to, find a woman that says a lot about your character to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know,
because
to really do that.
He's not looking. He's looking for someone to take care of him.
Yeah, no.
That he's looking for a mother figure.
No.
Yeah.
On the line. He's looking for that
And
nurturer
Yeah.
that you were talking
And
about.
some men need mother figures because they are very kind of pitiful without that kind of structure.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just call him John. My John, I call him mine, he's been with me forever. My John is so all over the place. He helps the homeless. He helps the little old ladies.
Mm-hmm.
He helps everybody. And he's not focusing on what he needs to move to the next level in his life. And that's because he's just all over the place. But helping people makes him feel like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Right.
It makes him feel good, and I respect him for that. But if you're going to bring somebody into your world,
Right.
you have to prioritize. Okay, all that energy you putting into other people, giving them blessings and all this stuff, and fixing their cars for free and all that.
Yeah.
That's
Somewhere
for
along the line,
ego.
those bills need to be paid, and you're and all this other stuff. You can still do good and collect some money in the process.
Yes.
You have to live. You have to live.
Yes.
Yes.
But so we still got a little bit of time left, about 10 minutes. And I know Lorinda had something she wanted to bring a topic.
I think we kind of hit on it. Like, well, the question, what I was thinking about, or what I saw in another group was, if your ex calls or comes to his senses and says, I want to be with you after all.
Does he say it
What
like
do you
that?
do?
After all?
Okay, wait.
Yeah, because I'm like, after all, I'm like, wow, thank you.
After all of what?
Thank you. Like, you know,
I want to be with you. I want us to get back together. What is it? An immediate no? Is there
Immediate
some
no.
kind of okay?
See, do you see where my eyes are located? They're in front of me. So it's not meant to see my past. It's meant to see my future. There's always been that thing for me. People say, get back together, whatever. I said, well, iPhone. So
I know, right?
I just don't go backwards. So, and then my true ex would have been my spouse. So I've had relationships after that, but that would be my true ex as far as, like I said, I've dated after that, but there's no way. It's just no.
But what if you broke up because of something
that they maybe needed to get straight? Maybe they
Right.
hung out
So,
too much, or they did something. And they're no longer doing that, or maybe their finances weren't right, and now their finances together. Now they got a good job and blah blah blah, and everything's lined up.
Because that was my
now.
answer. Like, what were the circumstances?
Let me if I'm dating someone and they lost their job, I'm not going to break up with them because they lost their job. I'm going to break up with them as how they treated me when they lost their job. When they think that they're not supposed to continuously be proactive and looking for a job, and they're thinking that Charlene got them, then it doesn't matter if they get another job, because they're going to they have the mentality of not being a man and having a woman take care of them. I can't deal with somebody like that.
What if it's not that situation though? Because the money thing, that okay, we're all gonna draw the line there.
Yeah.
I'm not taking care of grown men.
Right.
That's just
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. But if just the fact that you're my ex does not, in my mind, it depends on why
What it was that
we
we
had
did.
to break
Yeah.
up.
Was it something that was traumatic? Were you abusive? Were you this
Yeah,
or that?
because
or,
like in my situation, if my ex-husband right now would say, okay, I really think we could do this, I would actually try it. I don't think he ever would, because he is some kind of set in his ways, and I'm some kind of set in my ways, and it's kind of working the way that it is.
Right.
But if he ever wanted to, I really think I would. I know
Because you
him.
think that because before you got married at an early age, you
And
were
he
young
knows
and you
himself,
didn't,
right.
and now you both know yourselves. You both kind of gone and did the things you needed to do, and now you're in this point, in this place where, okay,
He gets me. I mean, he all these years, 30 years. He's my high school sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
So 30 years now, I'm still doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I am still curious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still running all over the place. I'm still trying things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still fascinated by the mind of God and ooh, and I'm still doing that.
Right.
That's just who I am.
Right.
So now he's kind of saying, I probably would have still had you if I would have just let you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So in that cases like that where it wasn't something traumatic or evil,
mm-hmm.
I would.
I don't think I have an ex that I would take back.
This is a hypothetical.
She even leaned up like.
Yeah, I'm just really thinking.
Think about this.
Is there anybody I would take back?
The situation, but there are many different situations.
Yeah.
So that
I think that at that point, because I work with a lot of different people, and I hear all the stories, that come through. I've seen the person that married. I had this one gentleman. He married got married, spent maybe about 10 years or so with the first wife. Then he, I guess, felt that she wasn't what he wanted. Mm-hmm. So he divorced her and he married another lady. Well, this woman took him through all sorts of stuff.
Ooh.
So he wound up divorcing her and went back to the first wife. And so I was sitting there. And so when I was working with this paperwork and stuff, and I was like, oh, so you went back, huh? He said, yeah. He said, I needed to do that to see that what I had was the best thing I could have ever had. He said, it made me appreciate her so much more when he said, when I went back, he said,
he treated her.
Yeah, he said, because I realized that the grass was not greener on the other side.
I tell you.
And they were together from that point. I think if you look at that, then about 30 years. All together after that, but
it takes some of us a minute to really see people for their best self.
Right.
Sometimes,
if
you got a loser, you just got a loser.
Yeah. That was my spouse said. He told my daughter when she went to go see him, and he said, when it was devastating. Of course, when I left, just.
He was devastated.
Yes,
I would have been devastated.
He was.
He told her, he said, your mom just wasn't that bad. Because, you magnify a lot of things in a relationship because you have these things. And every little thing could be, this big.
Right.
But just like you're talking about, oh, wow, I didn't know. Right. I had it really so good because my spouse, and I know the things that he's talking about, because he now had to realize he has to cook, he has to clean the things because he brought up in an era where that's woman's work. Because I remember, I should have known because he told me one day that he lived with his grandmother, raised by his grandmother, and he came home one day and the house wasn't clean, so he left. I said, why don't you just clean it up?
Right.
Because his expectation is that the woman do it. So when I left. And he realized I worked a full-time job. I took my care of the kids.
Right.
And so he has to do that, cook, clean, all that stuff. So he was like, she wasn't that bad. Oh, well.
He was not.
Yeah, he said she wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. But, a lot of times guys will do that. They're looking at the shiny penny. When what you have there, you dulled it out. All you need to do is shine it up.
Yeah.
And it's just as shiny.
Put some work in. Exactly.
Right. But they stop putting the work in, but then they want to go and jump to this, or they're envious of their friend is single and this woman is coming in and that woman's coming in and they think they got it made.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they by themselves.
Exactly.
They don't have anybody to love them because, they're out there looking for what you got, but you're so busy envious over because they're going flipping from this one to that one and that.
I always say to people, you don't know the price of oil in my alabaster box.
There you go.
You don't know what I had to go through.
I like that. I like that.
Right.
Okay, so don't be thinking you just gonna come and get massaged.
Right.
No, this oil costs money.
Right. That's right.
That's blood, sweat, and tears, and all this stuff. Right. And you're just looking at when I clean up. I'm gonna buy me a wig, y'all. I really am. Because it's going to be symbolic of me putting on my day face. Did y'all notice I have on makeup tonight? No. I didn't got on enough then. I need to put on a little more. But when you look at the
I see your eyes.
yeah, see, I did. I'm trying. Still don't have my lipstick yet.
Oh.
But but when you look at the exterior of things, that's materialism.
Mm-hmm.
I listened to this rabbi, and he was talking about when the difference between an alligator and a crocodile is you can tell by their coat.
Mm-hmm.
And we look at each other just like that. Mm-hmm. So, she's fat, skinny, light skinned, this, and he's this, and we're doing all this judging.
Right.
And nobody's looking inside
to see what's
at
really
all.
Right.
And that, and I can change all, baby, you ugly. I love you. We're going to fix that. You can do all kind of surgery and get that fixed.
She said all surgery.
You can get it fixed. But
sometimes ugly is just skin deep.
You're gonna make a whole lot of
you
money.
just gotta love them for who they are. And then to me, I truly believe that if you really love someone, you don't even see that. Somebody else sees it, but you don't see that. To you, that's the best
my
looking man
sister told me that
ever. Yes.
I said, don't he look good? She said, no, you just got used to him. Because I was dating somebody and he was just funny.
Uh-huh.
And then I said, oh, don't he look good? That's what she said. And I do believe that. I do believe we get covers on our eyes. But that's good. And that is good. And some guys I met, I'll be praying for the cover to come on so I can date them.
But see, Sandra, you had who was it this week that said something? Oh, you said something to somebody about until you get to that spiritual part, though, all you have is the external. Mm-hmm. So if you're trying to find somebody, that's what's going to attract them, then you need to do that until they can have a chance to see
what's going on the inside. Right. People say, oh, you don't look at the inside of them. But before I get to the inside, I want to come up to you. And unless you're actually approaching somebody as friends,
just talking and whatever,
and then you get to know them as friends, and then you think, oh wow, that's a nice person, and then you may spark out into dating there. But most of the time, if
that's all I have to go on is what you look like.
And if you're not taking care of the outside of you,
I agree.
The package got to be wrapped up pretty for me to see what's going on in the inside.
That's why you see a book and say, oh my God, the title looks good or the colors attract you, and then you want to go find out what's on the inside of that book, and that's why you buy it for the inside, not what's on the outside, but the outside made you go look on the outside.
It piques my curiosity.
Mm-hmm. And Shirley says that she lost a lot of good guys because of looks, and that's true. It's really, really true, and that's one of the reasons why I like dates that you have to actually be doing something, engaging.
Mm-hmm. So you have to look at them.
You still gotta look at them because you gotta get to the point to saying that you want to date them.
Some of those character things can come out.
I'm trying.
During the date.
But you know what? You can have a guy that's not very attractive, but he's dressed and
presents well,
and he's attractive. That part attracts you because of how
much effort he put in.
If they're not initially attractive, if they approach me in a certain way, and I've always been one of conversational,
funny.
Yes, if they do that, then I will be like, I want to give him a chance so I can find out what's about. But a lot of these guys that the thing about people to understand is attraction is personal. You can sit there and the guy can come in like, oh, good Lord, I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't see nothing, but something about that man attracted.
Right.
So when we talk about that, a lot of these guys that approach me, their approach is even ugly.
Yeah.
So and I'm like, there's no way I can give you a chance because some guy said hi to me, and I said hi back. Oh my God, here comes all this stuff. Give me a call, blah, 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 drop your phone number, and this, that, and other. Then, they have these weird names, screen names and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. The way I am, I'll be okay. So I just can't do it. But,
it's
I
all
want to have
some treat me like a lady, respect me for that, come up with some funny something or another to catch my
that's
right
effort. Think about it, not just off the top of your head.
Don't give me some you must be the
angel
'cause,
fell from the heaven, Lord.
All of that
That
stuff. Be
same
yourself
stuff.
and just be real about it and respectful and understand that that I'm a woman and not an object.
Don't
I
say,
think
girl,
a
I
lot
see
of
your
times
blessing.
that happens.
You do?
Yeah, don't. That's what I'm saying. If the guy comes and say, girl, I see your blessing.
Oh, wow, yeah. I was like, am I sure? Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was not
Well,
paying attention.
ladies, it has been enjoyable. Everybody on Facebook, thank you for Ladies Night.
Yes, Ladies Night.
It was Ladies Night. Hopefully next week you'll have Terrence and some different co-hosts. I don't know if Charlene, are you coming next week?
If he needs me, I'll be here.
I know I'll be off next week, but I'm still gonna be loving you all, and just want to say have a good night.
Okay. Have a good
All
night.
right. Good night, Facebook.
Good night.
7:00 next Thursday. Let's
Good
talk
night,
relationship.
Yeah, we'll
Good
be
night,
on time.
Charlene.
John Boy.